Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to this week's video on Discover Your Dreams. I'm Cynthia, and I'm so glad you're here. Before we begin, I want you to take a breath with me. In through your nose, and exhale. This is not to change anything, just to notice. Because today, we're talking about something subtle, but powerful. How to catch yourself in a pattern without immediately trying to fix it. And that second part is most important, because most of us are very good at catching patterns. We're just not very good at letting them exist long enough to understand them. The moment we notice a pattern, overthinking, people-pleasing, shutting down, reacting, avoiding, our nervous system often interprets that awareness as a problem, and problems need solutions. So we move quickly into correction, self-talk, strategy, control. But here's the truth. If you move too quickly to fix a pattern, you interrupt the information it was about to give you. Patterns are protective. They formed because at some point they worked. They helped you belong. They helped you survive. They helped you manage uncertainty. And when you try to fix them too quickly, the nervous system tightens, because from its perspective, you're attacking a strategy that once kept you safe. There was a time when I noticed how quickly I would step in to manage other people's emotions. If someone was uncomfortable, I moved towards solving it. If tension rose, I softened it. If someone was disappointed, I internalized it. When I first became aware of this pattern, my instinct was to stop, to correct myself, to become healthier. But every time I tried to fix it immediately, I felt anxious, because that pattern wasn't random. It was a strategy. It had roots. What changed everything was this. Instead of asking, how do I stop doing this? I started asking, what is this protecting? And instead of suppressing the behavior, I slowed down inside it. I noticed the tightening in my chest, the urge to resolve, the fear underneath. And that curiosity did more than any technique ever could. Because once the pattern felt understood, it softened on its own. Here's how you catch yourself in a pattern without trying to fix it. Step 1, name it neutrally. Not, I'm doing it again, but there's the pattern. Simple, calm, observational. Step 2, locate it in the body. Where do you feel it? Is it urgency? Tightness? Heat? Restlessness? Patterns live in the nervous system before they live in behavior. Step 3, ask what it needs. Instead of asking yourself, how do I change this? Ask, what is this trying to protect? That question changes the tone of the entire interaction. When you try to fix a pattern, you create internal opposition. When you observe it, you create internal relationship. Relationship reduces defense. Defense is what keeps patterns rigid. Pause for a moment. Think of a pattern you're currently aware of, something small. As you think about it, notice, does your system want to improve it or understand it? If you feel comfortable sharing, you can comment one word describing your most common pattern down below. No explanation needed, just awareness. There was another pattern I carried for years, over-preparing. If something mattered, I researched it extensively. I planned it, rehearsed it. I anticipated every possible outcome. And again, when I became aware of it, my instinct was to stop. But when I slowed down enough to observe it without judgment, I realized something important. over-preparing wasn't about competence. It was about safety. Once my nervous system felt safer in uncertainty, the over-preparing naturally reduced. Not because I forced it, but because it was no longer necessary. When you fix too quickly, you reinforce the belief that the pattern is dangerous. You increase nervous system pressure, and you bypass the root. And roots ignored becomes roots repeated. Awareness without urgency is what allows integration. So what does catching a pattern feel like? It should feel like, oh, that's interesting. Not, oh, here we go again. The tone matters because the tone determines whether the nervous system opens or defends. In the grounded life philosophy, awareness is not a performance review. It's a relationship. You are not observing yourself to become perfect. You're observing yourself to become present. And presence dissolves what pressure cannot. Let's practice in real time. Bring to mind a recent moment where you reacted in a way you wish you hadn't. Don't change it, just replay it gently. Now say internally, there's the pattern. Notice your body. What happens when you don't try to correct it? When patterns feel seen instead of attacked, the nervous system relaxes, defensiveness drops, choice expands. And from that expansion, new responses emerge naturally. You don't force new behavior, you grow into it. You don't need to fix yourself to evolve. You need to understand yourself. And the more gently you catch your patterns, the less tightly they grip you. Awareness is not about stopping who you are. It's about meeting who you are without fear. You don't have to rush to correct every pattern you see. When you create safety around awareness, change follows. Wherever you are on your path, remember, you don't have to force clarity or chase purpose. When you ground yourself, life begins to respond. I'll see you next time.